my shirt.
So, Mike Llewellyn, if that is your real name, posted a comment on my morning ramblin' while ambling video, and I figured I'd address it because what the hell and why not? Essentially, he was calling out Pink Camera Magic for giving up her ID and for turning off her camera to preserve the privacy of her friends. And I believe that his issue with Pink Camera Magic, with the former, the giving up ID, is because, I don't know, auditors don't give up ID, I think is the general consensus. And I believe his issue with the latter is that auditors don't respect people's privacy. Let me address the former first, giving up ID. I'm not a fan of giving up ID. I watched that stream. I watched it live when she did give up the ID until the stream cut out. I was doing other things and I didn't see her come back online with a follow-up stream, which I then watched later when it wasn't live. So personally, I'm glad she's okay and that she wasn't violated or roughed up or thrown in jail or had drugs planted on her or anything like that. So the decision on whether or not to ID is the decision of the person in that situation at that time. I'm not generally a big fan of just offering up your ID. At least in California, you don't technically have to ID until you're getting booked. Although, I personally, if my personal opinion is, as soon as I'm arrested, if they say you're under arrest and then they want my identification, that's fine. I've been arrested at that point. You know, they're gonna get it one way or another. So might as well just give it to them, and it might make the experience shorter. Of course, you want to be very careful with state laws. Some states will require you to ID if you're detained, and a typical traffic stop, they're going to have reasonable suspicion, typically. Whether or not a passenger has to ID will again depend on whether or not they have reasonable suspicion and if the statutes allow for that. So always talk to a local attorney before you decide not to ID. I don't hold it against Pink Camera Magic at all for IDing. I don't know the conditions of her parole, so I mean that might be a condition. And maybe she just really got sick and tired of being under house arrest and doesn't want to do anything to jeopardize her current freedoms. So I mean, when you're in that situation, you can make the decision for yourself. Until then, you know, don't backseat drive, I guess. That's my job. As far as the turning off the camera for the privacy of the individuals, I haven't seen Pink Camera Magic violate anybody's privacy rights. I don't have a catalog index of all her audits in my mind, but she's not striking any bells of her recording in like a DMV or a Social Security Administration office or anything like that. So just because some auditor somewhere is an asshole and is causing a problem like that who was that? Not Now, Maybe Later or something like that. Some guy on the East Coast, he went in to pay his property taxes, and they had a little box where he could film in if he wanted to film, and that would protect the privacy of the people who were giving their, you know, your tax information is going to be tied to your Social Security. It's going to be tied to your driver's license. You know, they're going to get all these protected bits of data with the camera. And so they shut down the tax collecting office, much to the annoyance of the other people in there. And believe it or not, the people in there were not upset with the staff. They were upset with the idiots holding the cameras. But I haven't seen Pink Camera Magic do that, so lumping her in with those people seems a little silly and disingenuous. And I never can quite put my finger on Mr. Llewellyn. He's off again, on again. He runs hot and cold, and he either is throwing people under the bus or slurping gently at their genitals. So do with that what you will. Anyway, that is my take on what happened with Pink Camera Magic as far as her actions were concerned. She said that the stop was for a traffic violation. One of the passengers had a warrant. I'm not sure why they ID'd all the passengers. Unless they had some sort of a reasonable suspicion, then I don't think they would have been entitled to that. But whatever, we'll let the criminal defense attorney of the gal who was arrested with the warrant fight out whether or not it was proper and appropriate for them to demand ID. So anyway, thank you for watching, and have a great day.